Welcome to Destiny Quest. Now this is a pretty special topic. As a kid I grew up in a small town, and across our street was the library where I was spending a lot of time reading books, and one of these was of Choose Your Own Adventure, and I found them mildly interesting, but much later I heard there was a second generation of modern adventure games, and I decided to take a look, and there were not many videos on this topic on the internet. So I took the plunge and decided to order this from America. Destiny Quest is a book that is heavily inspired by Diablo, so I already liked it from the beginning. And as you can see here, it's not expensive. It's a lot of pages. And it is structured like the old fighting fantasy things that Americans are grown up with. But this is the modern modern version that's more like modern video games. And I totally love this book. Michael J. Ward was the writer, and he owns the Destiny Quest website and answers a lot of questions. This is the second book. The first book had a problem that it was not well balanced, as far as I heard. That if you had invested a lot in speed, you gained all the initiatives, and then the battles were very easy. So in Destiny Quest, you play a hero that has certain talents. Here's the other books: Legion of Shadow, Heart of Fire, and the Eye of Winter's Fury. So I recommend to just jump straight ahead at the second book. So you can write your heroes here with so a hero as a path and a career, and can wear a necklace, can wear two rings. That should sound familiar. You have, it's 2 pages actually. Your hero also has a name, and he can wear a cloak. Item, he can wear something on his head: gloves, main hand, chest, and left hand. Left hand is the off hand, so if you're left-handed, you can change it. You can wear a talisman on your neck, like an amulet. You can have boots, and there is money, of course. Speed, brawn, magic, and armor. As you see, armor is with OU, so it's an English version. So what I said from America, yeah, it is. This book is published in Great Britain, so it has been. It is. Yeah. So .co.uk. Okay, so it's not an American product. Maybe that explains why the text is so well written. Okay. You can have a backpack with items that have several charges. So for example, if you have a quiver, then you have 1 quiver and several arrows in such a quiver. yeah, so you can use the book itself. Of course, I never do that. It goes against everything I believe in a book. Here's an example. So there are several paths that you choose once you reach a certain point in your evolution. As you make choices, gain items, find quests, you also gain in experience. There is not such a thing as experience track or level track. Your progress is mostly reflected by the stuff that you have and find and win. So Neverin has a cloak mantle, and it gives a +2/+3. So you look for the speed thing. +2, +2, +1 is +5, +3 is +8, +2 is 10, +2 is 12, 13, 14, and he starts apparently with 1. So you write the sums, and he doesn't do magic, for example. So the things that you find, if you find a second cloak, you choose which one you discard forever and which one you wear. The money is always in gold coins, so you can just write 100. And here is the rest of the character portraits. In most of these computer RPGs, you have some kind of character representation of what he is wearing. Now, in such video games, there is also a lot of spells and effects and special abilities. So, for example, he has Curse and Knockdown, Piercing, Rig, Shadow Fury, Vanish, Bleed, Thorns, Critical Strike, Regrowth, Savagery, Shadow Speed, and Trickster. These are written in alphabetical order in the glossary. I recommend to print this out from the website, so you have it. You don't have to go to the glossary every time. So it's a lot from acid to beguile, and BA stands for passive, and the MO is a modifier. So you can activate it. For example, for beguile you can activate it twice during combat. PAMO SP. SP stands for speed. CO. Combat. Mo. Go. Spumo. Baco. Coup de grace. Cruel twist. Cut purse. So you can steal items, and the rules are very simple. Everything is D6 based, so you only need a single die. There is on Android devices a free app that rolls D6s for you, and that's I found that more convenient because you can play this in bed. And then you simply use the app to roll your dice. So it goes on and on. I mean, look at all these retaliation, stagger, spirit ward, suppress, stone skin, thorn armor, trample, wind blast. And I haven't even seen 1% of everything. So why would you even consider to put this in your game cabinets? Well, first of all, the writing is excellent. Then, with a few words, he can write an atmosphere, and it's very accessible. The complete story, I haven't even seen this part. Okay, I can't judge the whole book, but I like this a lot. This part. The entirety of the adventure story. You can play a single path once through the book, and then you can choose another path, another hero background, and play it a second time. And there are 3 paths, for example. So there are 3 acts and a lot of randomized entries. I'm going to read a few because everybody on the internet is so too afraid to give spoilers, but you can't judge a book by spoiler-free reviews, and that just don't show anything. So, Act 1, Fenced-on Moors. I like this map. It also, there is a color version of it that you can print from the website. But you don't really need this because you write it down where you are. Now the iconography is very clear. White thing is a village, town or camp, so it's here, here, and probably I missed a few, and because this is also a town. Then there are easy quests, recommended of course to go there first, like 14, 19, 42, and this is some kind of mysterious temple, and maybe you can. I don't see how you can. I think you could escape from Act 1 to via 256, but there's a legendary monster. I hope you get after camera can show it. There are of course boss monsters, but because so here's a boss monster 151, and here's also legendary monster. Team battle is if you play with 2 persons. You can play with two persons, but you have to find somebody nerdy enough to even go the extra mile, or you bribe someone or something. So 163 is completely off limits for me. This is a hard quest. You can see the dark, murky, dead trees. There are also dead trees and mountains that are in RPGs provide a natural border. Act 2 I haven't even looked at, but you get the big picture. Things with spiderwebs, things with crystals, really, for me, very evocative. Small tropical parts, and it's not an direct adjournment of the previous map. It can be completely somewhere else. Terral Jungle, it sounds to me like Act 3 of Diablo 2. So that would be awesome. Then Tartarus, also first association is Act 4 Hell in Diablo 2. I can see here some. Well, this would be the River of Flame. Would be things with hellish creatures, and the numbers of these are higher numbers. These are medium numbers. So more or less this part would be for Act 3 and this part would be for Act 2, but there are overlaps and the randomization of the entries is pretty well done, so you can jump back and forth while progressing through the story. Now you still don't know anything, so 15 minutes in, 10 minutes left. Well, the start is also I found it fantastic, and you have also a smaller, more detailed map of the city where you start. And these numbers are, of course, not the page number, but the entry number. It doesn't mean that you can simply go there because you see the number. You follow the story. And welcome to Destiny Quest. Texts, the hero sheet, quests and monsters, the maps. It explains everything. Team battles, upgrading, combat. You can have. There is also a stash, but you have to find it first. So there is. The rules are optimized for quick resolution, so you get the feeling of an action RPG. Well, things go quickly. Prologue: The Great Escape. Should I read this? I want to read something else. Now, why didn't I finish the book? I think first let's not jump into text. Yeah. So after reading the stuff, turn to the first map to begin Act 1 of your adventure. Choose where you want to visit by turning to the entry number displayed next to the shield. As a novice adventurer, you may want to explore the town of Carvel. Turn to 8 before embarking on one of the spear quests. So that's important to understand. The town of Carvel is page 8, section 8, and these are the spear quests. Yeah, of course I started at Carvel, so you go to 8. So normally you would start a book here, but in adventure books you go to the correct entry, 8, and then you read. And then you make a choice to 36 or 17. Now, for example, you go to 17, and there you see one of the highlights of the game. There are keywords. If you already have the word calling written on your hero sheet, then turn to 31 instead of 17. But the first time you don't have calling, of course, so you read this part, then read this part, and then you write the word calling, then turn to 31. So 17 is then closed off for you. It's not really of a big deal, but because there is so much, and the story really evolves. But you have to take my word for it now. It will go into a lot of detail. I think it's time for more videos on this. This is a masterpiece. Okay, so cobbled roads, lane, and then visit the apothecary, 120, 77, or descend to lower town, 36, and so on. You get the picture. There are shops where you can buy stuff. I think it makes the most sense to do some combats example. Now the combat example is very simple. What I did, let's put this aside. Oh yeah, and the book feels very nice. It's very sturdy, some kind of plastic to support. I mean, you will be grateful after playing this game. I'm pretty sure of it if you watch my channel, and you will also feel the same thing. Like I want to support the poor Michael J. Ward because he's done a tremendous job. And also don't do the mistake that I did to go on Amazon and try to find something similar, because they all are worse than this, and this is the best that you can get. So don't bother buying legendaries, blood sword or something like that. Okay. Maybe we do battle as we go. So I started with Dashi the Prophet. I don't know why, but it's my go-to name in RPGs. I didn't have a saddle blanket. I didn't have Assassin's Veil. So you need a pencil and an eraser, because you every time you gain an item, you have this constant doubt of is this one better than the other. For example, if you have something with special properties or just a base value attack. Which one are you going to choose? If you choose this, then you have less brawn, for example. Brawn is the combat modifier. I also made the mistake of writing with a pen, so I had to use Tipex. I wrote first the subtotals and then the full total in the corner, but it doesn't really work. I think it's just best to recalculate everything whenever you change an item. The health is something that I made a mistake. You start with 30 health, then you do battle. I used the back of this thing for enemy, and then wrote the speed, brawn, magic, armor, and health, and I forgot to reset my health after the battle to 30 again. So battles were becoming really interesting. And I managed to survive them, but by this point I reread the rules, because I was thinking, well, why can't I rest, for example? But you are just like in Diablo, when you cough potions along the way. After battle, you reset again to 30 health. So if a monster defeats you during a battle, then it's game over. Well, you can always pretend that it didn't happen, of course, but that would be, well, who would you be fooling? Yeah, and then the money pouch. So I think it's better to write in a pencil and then cross off whenever it changes, because I by now have 20 plus 20 minus 3 minus 3, so that is 36. This makes no sense. So 36. I found some keywords, and I wrote after the keyword to which section it belongs. That's completely optional, but I'm a bit of a OCD guy, and I like to retrace whenever I revisit after a while, because I haven't played this in several months. So my backpack has, for example, ashes, sulfuric, I think, or yeah, and it had a troll bones that I sold. Holy water, 2 items. I don't have to explain to you what that is good for. Healing +4, magic +2, and I have no idea what it is. So, yeah, and let's see. I have chosen prophecy. That is something that you can start with at the beginning. So it's not really a spoiler. If you buy the book, then you encounter the entry where you can choose to have prophecy. You can also choose something else instead. So once per combat, you can cancel damage token for 1 round. Take the damage taken in 1 round. Yeah, so combat is very simple. Aside from some modifiers, you roll for your initiative and for enemy initiative. You apply the modifiers and then decides who goes first. The one who goes first does the attack. He can do damage and we'll try to break through the damage. Break through the defense. Let's see. But things get more complicated, of course, if you have spells and if enemies have resistances, and but it's all very simple in the beginning. So speed, brawn, or magic, armor, and health. So you roll 2 dice for the hero and add the current speed score to the total. That's your attack speed. Okay, so I lied to you. It's a sum. So I roll 3 plus 5 is 8, and my speed is 2. So step 1 is a 10. Roll another 2 dice for your opponent and their speed score to the total. So they could go from 4 plus 2 to first enemy has a speed of 0. So it's 6. The combatant with the highest attack speed wins the combat round. If both scores are the same, it's a standoff. The combat round ends and a new one begins. So eventually you will have one. The winner of the round rolls 1 die. So two for initiative, 1 for either brawn or magic, whichever is the highest. That is not entirely true. For example, if my brawn is 3, my magic is 4, and if the enemy is immune to magic, I would choose brawn, and I think I can choose brawn. Monsters have either brawn or magic, so you get a damage